Welcome, my friends, to Shaking the Salt with Dr. Peppers. My bio reads from troubled teen to teacher of the year, 100-pound weight loss, blah, blah, blah. You know, the sort of thing you're working on in your before and after life story. So at the end of the message, stay tuned if you want to contact me for any reason, including prayers. Thank you. And I'm Dr. Peppers, Shaking the Salt. Here we go. I have had so many people say, "Where is your Facebook? I miss your pictures. What are you doing? Do you not have any activities going on? Are you sick? Is your mom sick? What about any other members in your family? What's happening?" You know, we have really become, at least I have, pretty much dependent on keeping up with others through Facebook. Who would have thought that? I remember when I first heard the words Facebook. It was from one of my relatives that was transferring from MySpace, and I said, "I don't even know what MySpace is." Well, long story short, when I started clicking on Facebook, I know there are horrible, horrible, sickening aspects about it. I know the ads have become very prolific, and I understand that many of you have been grieving and pouring out your troubles through Facebook. I hate it the most when I see my friends or my relatives just crucifying each other over religious beliefs or political beliefs or something they said or who got their feelings hurt or that's not the way it happened, you're just fibbing, or whatever it is. If you haven't noticed, on my Facebook, when I was writing more, I tried to stay very neutral. Facebook for me was like calling a friend. It was like seeing pictures of some of my former students and their families and how grown up they are, and even that some of my former high school students that I taught are grandparents. What? How did that happen? Well, time goes on, and time goes on whether you like it or not. And many people say, well, time flies when you're having fun. My husband knows a joke where it ends up with flies time or have time or something when I don't know. Anyway, I would like to tell you right out that none of my relatives have died. None of us have gotten COVID. I pray that none of yours have, but I already know so many of you that have. I have had beloved ones who have actually told me their parents were in a nursing home and they were dying. They had COVID and they couldn't go see them. Even in the hospitals, they couldn't go see them. That must be the most painful thing in the world, to have a loved one who is somewhere suffering and you can't get to them. I know there's, phoning and there's FaceTime and there's all kinds of other ways with Zoom or other virtual ways to keep in touch, but it's just not the same. It's better than nothing, but it's just not the same. So I have several reasons why I have not recently shown any pictures on Facebook other than the big celebration we had this past week at the radio station where I am here in Leesburg, Florida, WQBQ, the voice of Lake County. I'm Dr. Peppers, shaking the salt, and with me to the right, the weatherman is, and my husband says, the Bud Man. 4 years ago, I saw in one of the local news things, or maybe it was in one of the little booklets of advertising that's passed around, I was looking for what is a local radio station here, because I had been for 10 years on KJSL in St. Louis, and I missed my buddies Tim and Al, who were the morning show. I was the afternoon show, and then Bob Wells was the evening show. It's the Bob Show. It's the Bob Show, the show that Bob is on. Gonna have so much fun. Yes, it's the Bob Show. Anyway, it was a great run. It was for a season, and then we moved to Florida. So we got settled in the house. It took us 4 years for our real estate agent to find the right place for us. Here's what our criteria was. Number one, Bud wanted to live on a lake. Now, he had allowed me to do anything that I had wanted in our 45 years of marriage. And I had done television and radio. I was teaching. I was doing motivational speaking. We were traveling. We went to 65 different foreign countries, all 50 states. I just came and go as I wanted to. I shopped when I wanted to. I traveled when I wanted to. I went to see my family, my parents, when I wanted to. And when Daddy got real sick, when he was approaching the age of 90, I was taking him twice a week to physical therapy at a hospital outreach there in St. Louis, and visiting family. I had lots of family that were still in the St. Louis area, and a lot of friends in the little town of Clarksville, Missouri, where I grew up. But it was just that season that we put our house up for sale, and we thought it would go really quickly because, after all, it was one of those that we had custom designed. It had 3 stories. The upper story was the loft with a bedroom, bathroom, loft area, a walk-in hidden closet behind a big bookshelf where I got to throw all of my clothes and shoes all over the place if I wanted to. And nobody asked any questions. And then we had spiral steps from the loft down to the main floor, which was a very open area with the kitchen and the dining room, master bedroom with a jacuzzi in the bathroom next to it. The bedroom was big and roomy, and then we had another office or library area on that floor. And then we had a spiral staircase leading down to our indoor pool. Yes, in St. Louis, because at our last house there, we had only had 3 months of swimming time. I said, why not an indoor pool? So Bud mostly designed it and became the general contractor, and it was under glass. And we had a big greenhouse on one side of it, and then the pool, half of it, the low end, the diving end, deep end, whatever you call it, was under the glass part, and then the other part went under an indoor part where we could have another area with our 2 offices, another bedroom. Actually, the new owners have made it into 5 bedrooms. So it was everything we needed and wanted from the time we built it, 1987, to when we left St. Louis in 2016 actually, and that's when my daddy died. So I've just gotten so busy here with, finally, when I found that radio station, WQBQ 1410, the voice of Lake County, I've just fallen in love with all of the people of Lake County, and our activities have increased again. I haven't been able to do the jail ministry again right here in Lake County, but I am still part of the educational group where I'm on the board. I am still part of the Bible Study Fellowship women's group, my Heart Sisters, and the radio. We do Tuesday mornings, and we do it because James had prayed that God would give him some relief to find the ability to go out into the community, the Q-munity as he calls it, and get more sponsors and build it up. He had come from another radio and had become the manager here, and he just wanted to make it what God wanted it to be, even though it's just secular radio, and the first hour of the morning is the auction block where we have coupons to bid off, and the gift certificates, $20, $25, even up to $100 and $150 worth of each one, and the highest bidder wins after the end of 1 hour. And then 9 to 11 is buy, sell, squawk, and talk, where you can call in and anything you are looking for. If you want to buy something, if you want to sell something, advertise what's coming up, your garage sales, your community sales, if you have any big things. Like last week, we kept advertising that we're not only having the big celebration of the 5-year anniversary, but we have a Christmas event at one of the local restaurants. And we are keeping our distance to the best of our ability. You wear a mask if you want to. We aren't in a mandated state anymore. Some stores are, and we adhere to that. But we try to stay safe. We try to keep a distance. We don't hug and kiss. And you know I'm a hugger, not a mugger or a drugger. But this is what we have to do for this season. So I have lots of pictures from all of the events I've been involved with, probably more since we were doing the boat ministry out on the lake. I haven't had time to really put them on Facebook. I know that sounds ridiculous since we've had more time than ever, supposedly, but I just haven't done it yet, and I apologize. And for those of you that like to look at other people's pictures, and I do too, I still go through and scroll down, and I know I have a lot of people on my Facebook, 2,500, so I only see probably 100 of your posts every time I go on. But when I find them, I appreciate them, and I appreciate you. And I appreciate that you've been asking, where are your pictures? How's your mama? Everybody thinks because mom is 95. Well, this coming week, we're having a celebration down here for Marie, who is turning 98. And we're going to have it out in her front yard where she can walk out and sit in her lawn chair. And the rest of us will sit around, stand around. We're just bringing in a guitar and a cake for her and probably wrapped cupcakes for everybody else so nobody touches the food. But we can still go on in life. Life is too short, and time does fly when you're having fun, and especially when you're following that Jeremiah 29:11 path that God has laid out for each one of us. Yes, even you, whether you're a believer, whether you're Jewish, whether you're a Muslim, whether you're Democrat, Republican, God has a plan for each one of us. And when He created us, He gave us this pathway. He said, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you a blessed future and hope. And my friend, that's what He has for you. I get off track many times, and I know some of you may have never been on that track, but seek Him. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you, pressed down, shaken together, running over, flowing beyond whatever you thought your cup could hold. Mine runs over, and I pray that yours will as well. God, thank you for each one of the listeners here on Facebook. Thank you that you have given us such rich, full, wonderful lives, whether we're 30, 50, 70, 90, it doesn't matter. When you say it's time to bring us home, you'll do it. And in the meantime, we are to love others. We are to serve where we can. We are to help others. We are to fulfill the gifts and talents that you have given us. And that's what I pray for my friend listening. This is why we can't get down and out. That's why the joy of the Lord is our strength, because we have such wonderful, bountiful things right here before us. And that's why we thank you, God, especially here at Thanksgiving time. And may you have a blessed, wonderful rest of this week, the weeks to come, and through this COVID, my friend, whenever it ends. And may you still find the joy of the Lord. And yes, stay in touch with your friends, even on Facebook. I'm Dr. Pepper, shaking the salt. Thanks for being with me today, shining God's light. Thanks for staying on, my friend. If you would like to contact me, visit saltandlightministry.com. If you want to share your story with me, ask a question, have me come speak to your group, or maybe just request prayer. Once again, saltandlightministry.com. Thanks, and God bless.